Yo, there's my trace week pod. I'll wait for stream to go live. There we go. Wants to put this to live. Okay. I'm gonna wait for frames to go back down, but we should be good. Alright, another VOD. Because we did so many maps with Serenity, and now I'm just doing these live now just because it's easier for me. And you can watch it live if you want. Alright, so in our team VOD yesterday we did Eichenwald and Busan. I know Spooky wanted to do King's Row, so we'll do that one now. And I actually didn't type King's Row and actually properly type the name this time. Apologies if there's background noise, I do have a window open. Okay, so we are doing the port comp as well. Because I wasn't really in the voice, we went port comp. We really shouldn't play this port comp. I don't think it's very good. Against the comp they're running, it's great because they have no hit scan, they have no real counter to our Pharah, they lose a lot of pressure. They basically have to get close range to our team and we want to poke him out. And if they do get close range, they'll be low enough because our Pharah is shooting at them where we have the advantage. The reason why I don't like that comp is because if they do the McCree variant, where it's McCree instead of Reaper, I think it's just a very hard comp to go up against, especially on our side. And we do lose a lot of pressure, especially when Ferox flanks a lot on Pharah. It's just really not good for us. So yeah, that's a massive nade. We've already got Zari's personnel, we've got both of the bubbles out, so we're out of advantage now. If they push in, we can just provide a lot of pressure because the bubbles will be on cooldown. So, they're opting to go through hotel, which is a very bad rotation when we have a Pharah. We shouldn't be on the flank here. One thing I like to talk about, can I do lines? Nope, because it's premium pog. Alright, so I'm just going to draw it. So, with their brawl comp, because they have the main, the Reaper, the way they play that comp is they need to be close up. So, let's take this choke point here, for example. When their comp comes out here, they're going to be in this area here. The targets they want to engage on is this Anna because she's out of position and not near cover. Now, to get the Anna, they're going to have to wall off our Zari here. So this is their wall point there. Now their initiation point is going to be here. So once they wall Zari has to go on a choke point there and there against a Reaper, which is bad to save our Anna. And our Anna has to go through there. And because they have speed, they're going to get to our Anna much faster than our Zari's if they're going to wall. Better way of doing this, if they went main and they were close up, this is where the team would stand. This is where they want to initiate on us. This is where they want to wall here. So they want to be quite close up. So by them going in this choke point, yeah, they have cover, but they have a choke point here and a choke point here that they have to leave from. And against our team, especially when we have range and a poke, it's very bad for them, and we can easily pressure them out. If our Rhine stood on the doorways here, even blocking here or here and pressuring them out with Zarya, our Pharah could flank behind here, or just constantly poke them from this door or this door, whichever one Rhine is not stood at and shielding. But by us flanking, our Rhine isn't there to protect the front line. The Pharah is the only one that can really heavily pressure them coming out that choke, and there's no one to really stall them there. So yeah, we really need to play the Rhine here or here with the team, allowing more pressure and them not to push out for free. By also playing here, not going to be in the sightlines of our Anna, and you're going to have no healing, so if they decide to rush back and push onto you, you're basically going to die, especially when we're a slow moving comp and they're very fast moving comp. So yeah, they push out, they miss the wall, their Rhine goes very aggressive, and they haven't noticed our Rhine yet. So they've used the wall cooldown, and they've used both the bubbles come out. They've used Mora's Fade, and they've used Fire Strike. So they've used the majority of the abilities that they have. So I think we're at advantage now, which is good for us. So we are already winning this fight at an advantage. One thing to take note of, they do have more cover than us because they're playing back here and we have less cover. So we really should be playing this left wall like we're on the attack point. Sorry, got DM. So yeah, they're in better positions, but look how far spread they are, and that our Orion's in the back line. They've already used wall, so they're not going to be able to capitalise on the Rhine. The Reaper's already in front of the Rhine shield, which is bad for the Reaper, and they're already low HP. They're basically dead here. This fight's already lost. We're about to lose our Anna to the Reaper, but because of the Rhine being low, Mori's using most of healer to heal the entire team there. And if our Rhine gets more value, which he should, because he's right next to the supports, we win that. Good charge because the Rhine wasn't paying attention. You got 2 people with that, and now they lose. Zarya used both the bubbles. We should not let the Zarya get out for free. We need to kill her there. Hopefully. Okay, unlucky. We let her get out, and she's probably full charge. So both teams are going to enter the fight with a high charge Zarya. They make the switch to a McCree now, and Zarya switching to D.Va, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, now they have a more ranged comp to counter our Pharah. The way they want to play this comp now is they want to do the same kind of poke style that we want to do. So they basically, if they want to make a successful rotation and get the McCree and get our Pharah force back, they want to play in this area here along this wall, playing so they make the rotation around there and play from here. They have the cover off the statue. They force Pharah to play behind because the D.Va can eat, especially when we have barrage now and they have a D.Va. It's going to be much harder to get a successful barrage off if their D.Va pays attention to you and they have ult tracked correctly. Because they have no McCree now as well playing here, they can just poke us out longer. As Pharah, you'll need to play around here. If you play here, you'll have sightlines on this area here, and you'll have the cover off this building to cover for you. And that's why you need to play against this. Soon as they push in, it's going to be just, we're going to have to play more defensive because they have that space. Soon as they start pushing up around here, the only cover they really have is this area. And anywhere they go, they basically have no cover. This is the only cover they have if we take this as a box. That's the only cover they have, the cover down here. So by them playing there, they have to make a rotation to either go point or go there, because that is really not good cover against our Pharah. And it's just an awkward position for them. They still have the Lucio though, so they still want to make a fast rotation on us. So let's see where they go this time around. So, right there, Mora's wasted a damage orb. There's no reason for their Mora to throw an orb, but that's a wasted ability. In this situation, Mora should be not using any abilities. Because we have high poke and high spam, we're going to have more healing basically. They only really have Lucio heals now. Mora's having to waste a heal. She's wasted an orb already, so that's down for them, which is good. So we can basically pressure them a lot more because they don't have the extra healing for the orb. They do, however, nearly have Mora orb, but without that healing it's going to be worse. Their D.Va may have made a bad rotation there. There's no reason for the main D.Va to go on that rotation. It means the team's going to come and split, and the Rhine has to shield when it comes through to make them rotate, because they're rotating from 2 different directions. They made a miscall there, I'm pretty sure. D.Va got just fed our Pharah even more, fed all of us. She's in a bad position now, split off from the team. She is in cover, so it's alright. But Mora's going to have to use the majority of the healing. And look at the HPs. We're full HP. They're, well, 2 members are half HP, let's say. They do have Mora ult, so we're going to expect a Mora ult this fight, especially when they're just feeding Mora ults. So yeah, another bad wall. That's really good for us. Now, their Lucio is basically feeding here. So Lucio becomes the front target. The Ryan's in a very bad position, and he's not going to shield the rest of our team. So we should be focusing on targets going from the Lucio to the Mei, and then I think that's the Kree there, and then the Diva, and then this Ryan's basically doing nothing for the team. He's not near ult, and he's really not a threat at the moment. If anything, he's just thrown because he's out in the open. The only cover he has is this wall here, and he's like really not near it. And because he's over there and the cover's here, this means these guys are going to get no cover because they don't have a shield. They they only have a really moral to heal him at this point if we heavily poke him. Zarya playing his bad, she has no cover, especially when Ryan's taking this space. So we use both our Zarya bubbles, we're still pressuring them. We should fall back a bit here. We have to fall back. They've made big initiation, they don't have wall, but we need to fall back here. We still need to play from range, and with them having the Mei and the Kree, they still have frontline pressure. But they sacrificed the Reaper, but they gained the Diva, and Diva like is another like shotgun character, so you're still going to take a lot of damage to your shield and to yourself playing this far up. So we need to just play back here, play around the corner. That's a good fire ult. We got the round for that. The McCree's very split off. One of the reasons why we wanted to push back there is because the entire team's really in this area, and the McCree was playing there. The McCree would most likely make a rotation going from here or going around there, and either way we're putting him in the open, especially when the team has to make a rotation there. So yeah, God, I can't draw arrows, Jesus Christ. But yeah, this Kree needs to die. The Kree should not have got away with that. Like, our Orion pushed a main team, and there's just a Kree in the open on the left, not near cover. He should have died first, and then the Diva should have been next. But our Farah should have taken care of the main group of people because she has AoE damage, and the rest of us should have focused that Kree. Our Orion shouldn't have died in that situation. We shouldn't have to use res there. Going into the next fight, we're at null advantage. We have Shatter, Grav, High Noon, Nano, and they have the close to Shatter, the close to Mailed, so they basically want to speed in and look for Mailed. We want to be careful using our Grav because of the Diva, so we need to heavily pressure out that Diva with our Farah to either get her low enough where she basically is more focused on sustaining than DMing, or just waste most of a DM by just feeding it with Farah rockets. Because they want to go for a fast push, High Noon here is going to be very risky because they're going to speed on, throw Blizzard into the middle of our team, and by the time you get High Noon off, it's probably going to get frozen and cancelled. So that's going to be bad for us. So we just want to honestly look for fire. Sorry, not fire. I don't know why I said that. A Shatter. I think if we use a Shatter, it can just win the fight straight away. Maybe a Nano with the Shatter, just to make sure it's successful. But if they're going to look to speed on, I think we go for an early Shatter. We can possibly catch a Shatter when the Ryan drops his shield. Because if Ryan just walks in just fully shielding against a fire and a spam, or poke camp, sorry, he's just going to get the shield melted and can't do anything. Once again, they made a very bad rotation there. Instead, well, they got the cover from the bus, but then they had to move here to cover or here to cover. And either way, if they stand in this cover, the Ryan's going to have to use his shield to block this choke point because the Fire gets free poke on them because they're all grouped up. And by making the rotation here, the Ryan has to shield or just walk there and leave his team in the open. So either way, that was a very bad rotation. And like if their Ryan actually properly shielded there, it would have been better and they would have survived. But once again, they split off, which is great for our Fire because our Fire can pressure these guys for free. And they're going to be split on the push as well. So when they push in, and now our Fire has to pressure them here, these guys are going to be weak when they come in because they're going to be a bit behind the Ryan. And even if they move forward standing here, they're still going to get pressured by a Fire. They're getting quite close to Shatter now, which is bad for us. So yeah, that's another bad rotation for them. The Ryan went so far ahead, it left the Mei, the McCree, the Moira in the back. So that's bad for them, and we get full pressure on them. Because we have Fire ult now, we can use this statue to our advantage, and we also have this cover to play around. We have the advantage, so we can just play more aggressive here, honestly. And if we force them in this small area, it's going to be harder to hit a grab because D.Va has to well, pay attention to less areas and only one area to eat the grab. But we have more space to move around a male at least. Another good thing, before I forget, because I'm prepared, and this is like, I should really say this, because they made this rotation, they already use the speed boost to get to here. So honestly, because our McCree is this far back, if you just stand in here high noon, our tanks play forward, force them out, they have to back up anyway. They're that far away, and they like, again, in no space towards us with it, you know, you might as well high noon to pressure them out. That's a great grab, great barrage. That was really good from us, really set up. And I think we got Blizzard, yeah. That was very risky, but yeah, it paid off. If they'd even paid more attention to our Zarya grab, we would have lost that fight, but that was really well played from us. And we should always use the grab first anyway, and no, we should always use Shah first, but either way it's still good. So yeah, they made a bad rotation there, the team split, they ran so far forward here. Like, the Ryan's playing here, the team's playing here, they're now at high noon, and they have this much of a gap. The Ryan has to play back. This Ryan's just going to get bullied. The Pharah's just going to bully the Kree, and the Kree's just going to die, honestly. If that Kree doesn't die, it's like, he shouldn't. I think he should have died really there. That's just a very risky shot. It's like, in a Ryan situation, like, yeah, it's all just mind games with Ryan. Like, if you go for a shatter, like, the enemy Ryan is either going to think two things. When you shatter, you're going to go forward. Every Ryan, every time they shatter, they're going to act like it's going to hit. Because you need to have the confidence to think, oh yeah, it's going to hit. When you go for a shatter like that, that's risky. Because one, you're not tracking his abilities. He still has his, yeah, he still has charge, he still has fire strike. You literally could have just played it slow in that situation. Your shield was low already, I'm pretty sure. You were hiding in cover. Your team could have just spammed him down. You could have played that slow. If he then fire striked, that's when you go for the shatter. If you made a misplay like that or dropped a shield, go for it then. You have like about a 1.5 second window, I think, on the fire strike to hit the shatter. And if you time it correctly, you just go for a shatter straight away. Two things. If you go for, I got caught up explaining that, but when a Ryan goes for a shatter, the enemy Ryan is going to look to shatter like straight away, and that's most of the mindset. If Ryan shatters, I'm going to shatter straight away because he's going to go aggro. If you go for a shatter, shield instantly, and then block the shatter. So you shatter, shield, and then go for a swing, because that Ryan is going to, like, especially in that situation, you weren't looking for anything. So he blocked the shatter, he sees you going in aggro, like, because he didn't create an opening for you, so he then shatters you. So when you're going for a shatter like that, when you're not looking for anything, shatter, shield because he's going to shatter, and then go in after that, and then your nano will get used. But currently, like, this is a lost fight, you're just all dead. Or you should be, at least. I don't know why they didn't focus your backline first. Your Anna and your McCree should have died instantly there. I don't know why they focused you there. Like, their backline should have died. Or your backline, sorry. You really shouldn't have won that. The May's out position, not near cover there. The D.Va's low as well. I think you lag there, I'm guessing. And now it's just last push. We could honestly just fire ult this and win it. They have Mail, they have Lucio, but the chances of them getting, yeah, the Lucio's dead. It's just one for us. And that was a really good counter pin to stop him from touching point.
Score 0-0. Switching sides. Ready for battle.
So yeah, let's skip ahead a bit.
Ready
I don't think Sereni takes as long as most fucking teams, so
ready for ready
I thought that was the start there.
ready for battle. Ready for battle. Ready
Okay, maybe not. Maybe we actually took ages here. Oh, shit.
ready for battle.
Right, let's wait till both teams are ready and then I'll review comps. Okay. Once again, we're doing the spam comp. And against their comp, it's going to be harder to run it. With the comp they're playing, they know you're going to do the Pharah because you fucking do it every map. And when you do the same comp over and over, the team's just going to adjust and counter you. So they have a Deliver, they have the Kree, they have the BAP, all to counter you. Now the comp's split. Their comp is split. They have the Lucio, the Mei, the Rhine, all for fast pace, go in their first brawl. They have the BAP, the Diva, and then the McCree to be more defensive and play to counter the Pharah. So when they go forward, that's when we have the advantage. Like, their team wants to play grouped, but if they go on to us, but the BAP's not going to go forward, the BAP's going to stay in the back. So the BAP either has to waste his lamp on himself, and he honestly, he doesn't have very good lamps. He kept lamping himself to save himself when he put himself in a bad situation. But yeah, the BAP's going to lamp himself or he's going to lamp the team. So if they push forward onto us or hit a wall, our Pharah should be focusing the backline and killing that BAP. If BAP pushes forward the rest of the team, that's just more charge for our Pharah, but the BAP should be the main focus as soon as they push forward for the Pharah. We should be looking to try and just bait out the walls. We have less mobility. They have a good amount of spam, but because the comp split, they can't be aggressive as they want to be. Especially with the McCree and the BAP playing far behind the front line. Also with the BAP, it means they want to play more grouped. Because BAP has AoE healing. So that's something to look out for. And BAP's either going to be playing around this position with the team, so he has this cover, or this position here. If he plays here, he wants to just play from range, and his team is just going to be grouped up here. But if he plays there, the team's going to be grouped up in this area as well. But yeah, BAP's the one we want to look for. If we can force a lamp out early in the fight, we just win the fight from there. The BAP's playing very aggro here, he's very out position. And he opts to go for this position. Two things that are wrong from this position, especially when they're playing this far back. They can't see our Pharah. They can't see our Pharah setting up. If BAP plays here, he's split off from our team. As a visual example from our Pharah of what our Pharah should be seeing, especially here. If BAP plays in this tunnel and Pharah just goes a bit to the right here instead of on top of the statue, he can see all this area here. If BAP plays there, he's dead. BAP's basically out of position if our Pharah plays this right and just goes a bit further on the right. If they decide to push forward here, Pharah should be playing along this building on this area here to use that as cover. And if the Rhine pushes forward or they look for a Mei wall, we can just pressure the back line easily. McCree's not a threat currently, Diva's not a threat currently, and they're playing defensive because of the BAP. See, look, we're picking off the BAP. He has to use the shift on himself instantly. Kree's now going on flank. This is a very risky flank from Kree. And we should not let him get away with that. Like, this is dumb. We have a Pharah. We have a McCree. We should point this out and cook him. Pharah notices it. Okay, that's really good. Okay, so we did get him picked. We had to use nade for that. Our Anna nearly died, so our tanks didn't get support there because our Anna was distracted. Now, let's see it from our tank perspective because of that flank. Now, Farah's perspective, sorry, I'm having a stroke. Pharah perspective sees the Kree. Pharah should then call out Kree flanking far left. The Kree's going for Anna. So because Kree's flanking, they don't know who the McCree's going to go for. So that's something to pay attention to. Sorry, I'm just going to get a stream link real fast. Apologies if lag. I probably dropped a few frames doing that, so I do apologise. Okay, maybe not. Okay, so yeah, Farah calls out the Kree, and now our tanks should pay attention to that call and play more defensive. We don't know who the McCree is going to go for, so the McCree could just be just absolutely throw and go for our front line and tanks and try and kill the Kree. And if he tries to do that, he's dead. But it goes for Anna, and we don't know that, so we need to play more defensive. And I'm pretty sure you lag there because what the fuck. They're one down. I'm pretty sure you're lagging here, and that's why you're backing up. But we shouldn't give them this much space. Like, if you weren't lagging here, we would have won this. Honestly, this would have been won already if you weren't lagging. They've had to use lamp here, and they're just tired, and like, this is one. It's so hard to judge this just because you DC'd. Like, if you DC'ing like that, yeah. I don't know, I don't think I can see pauses either, so it might have been a pause, but yeah, that's a yikes. I can't really properly judge the rest of this fight. They have no tanks, really. The Meisha Dash is our position. They've had to use window. We should just win this either way because we have Zarya alive. They can't contest this. They used window there and that was about it. We have 5 ults. They're going to be closer to shot than we are. This BAP's thrown here. It's typical from the attacking side. Like, their whole team is basically alive. If they're if they aren't at least 4 when they're like around this position, they shouldn't be pushing up. It's common for every team on the offense to just push heavily forward and go on the offense from here. So you playing here against a Farah where Farah can just go around here and we're gonna go from main, it's just bad. Like, you need to play back with your team. Like, 3 people in a spawn, you shouldn't be playing in a position like that. Yeah, you have cover, but you also have cover at the other side, and you're not going to get caught off like that. Now they have to stall even more, and we're going to get pushing, we're going to push the cart. Now we're playing a bit grouped here. 2 things that are good and bad about playing in this position. The good, we kind of have cover. We have this cover here. It's kind of cover, but it's like very weak angles. Like, they're not proper angles. Like, there's this and this. So you can go here, but it's not a proper cover, so you can't properly hide behind it. Same with here, it's not proper cover. And then if you go, one of the bad things is if you go back, you have no cover until you reach this corner here or this corner here. So there's this here, this, and this is. I'm doing this in angles, and it's not really even an angle. Like, to call this as an angle is just bad. Because you have no cover standing here, you have no cover standing there. They have cover in this incline here. They have this cover here, which leads to the mega. Got a sneeze, sorry. So yeah, them playing here, they have more cover, especially when they want to be more defensive in the comp. We kind of have the advantage because we have a Farah, and it's a kind of a choke point. But then again, they have to speed onto us, and it's bad. I would highly suggest just cause our Anna's on cart and we only have Mercy heals on our Mercy's pocketing the Farah. We fall back. Sorry, Pen. Hello. Fall back to this corner. Play here. If they push up, we can just Farrell this here, and when they back up, where they're going to back up to, they have this here, this little incline there. They have no cover on the right side, and if they go here, like, our Farah could just rotate and use this area up here as cover against the team below. It also gives McCree 0 space to look, and we can just go super aggressive from there as we have all the cover in that situation. And yeah, look what you're doing. What was that? Like, The D.Va's on the right there, she's not a threat, they're all grouped up on the left. Like, you go there, you turn, wave, turn your back to the team while the Rand's pushing. They're all playing on the right here, which is good for us. And our Pharah, if she wants to actually go for a barrage here, should be playing up here. Should be playing above here, if my camera stops moving, up here. And it makes the McCree harder to hit you. The McCree basically can't hit you. If the Rand's playing, the Rand's going to come out, play here with a shield, he can shield up. We want the Rand to at least be here. If the McCree's, like, the McCree can't shoot you if you go for a barrage here because of this cover here. If the McCree wants to try and shoot you, he'll stand here and he'll just be out of, like, he'll be out of cover, he'll be out in the open, and you can just, like, pick him off. The worst of all, should be backing up. We're down a Pharah, they use lamp. We should never charge into, never. Like, they've lamped. The lamp radius is like all this area here. That's the lamp radius. You're charging, you get him to 1 HP, he's still in lamp. Every time you go, like, if we wanted to grab and barrage, sure, go for a charge. Try and pin the Rhine out so they have no shield. The barrage will kill the lamp and kill everyone in that graph. Maybe not if the D.Va eats it, but the D.Va hasn't ate much or done really much so far. So yeah, charge a Rhine if you want, but never charge into a grab. You should just swing here, or even go for a shatter maybe, but that would be 3 ults and it would be too much of a waste. And now we res our Pharah around us and we lose. Stupid Pharah ult. Just a stupid Pharah ult. Like, we have no shield to cover you. Zarya, like, didn't have bubble for you. They're not in an area, like, you're in the open. They're in the open. They still had the D.Va. Both teams are down a Rhine, but they have a D.Va still. It's just bad ult. Bad. Could have used it in a more effective situation. Zarya should get staggered here though. I don't know what this is, to be honest, but that's another stagger on the Mercy. Instead of being fucking sneaky and going for like kills, just fucking die, man. Alright, we now have Shatter, Creel and Nano. Apologies if you can hear the wind, by the way. I have my window open and it's very windy. One thing Serenity does a lot is window close. So they're gonna window here if they get it, and then they're gonna look to push through. Bap and McCree are gonna stand behind the window to get value. Because we're playing a very slow moving poke comp, and our Pharah is very far in the back, we're not gonna have pressure here, and we need to play on this left cover because if they window, we're gonna get fucked. We can't speed through the window. If anything. Okay, so if they're high team, if they're around 3.3 or have been, or actually know what they're doing, when they window, their Rhine should have his fire strike ready and should save that. So as soon as they window, we can bubble our Rhine and go for a shatter because the way they want to play this is so bad, and I think they're not thinking about the counters when they do it. Because when we get to this corner and their windows here. As a better example, their windows here, let's say. Very wiggly line, but you know. If their windows there, our Rhine's here. 2 options. Rhine goes to cover here, and we waste Zarya bubble. Okay, fight lost, we go to cover. Option number 2. We save the Zarya bubble, we expect a window, because that's what they've been doing all Scrim. They've been throwing our windows out in our face and then pushing through it. We know the way they want to play that comp is they window in front of the tanks, so then Rhine can fire strike, get the damage from the fire strike, and then they push through. So they input as much damage and then speed onto us, look for a wall on our front line, kill that, then go from there. And because we're this far in their face, we counter that easily. They don't have a Zarya anymore, so Rhine doesn't get bubbled when he goes for that fire strike. Fair enough, the fire strike might kill the backline, might hit the Ana. Hopefully not, because there's this cover here and we should be playing on this tight angle kind of. So it's going to be harder for Rhine to hit their backline if we do play there. But yeah, we like we combo the shatter with our Zarya bubble, because that's some high level play. Comboing abilities like that is perfect, and we should expect that from them as well. So we bubble our Ryan, we wait for the fire strike, bubble our Ryan, go for a shatter. As soon as Ryan goes for a shatter, that's when we should look for a bubble. We shouldn't, like, Ryan should see the opportunity for their Ryan to shatter. Go for the shatter, our Zarya should bubble him. The Ryan should probably not die on, really, to that, because of the bubble. It should soak up most of the damage. Maybe he, like, is half HP, but we have Nano to save him. And that's how this fight should go when they win, though. Oh, if they do, at least. Okay, they didn't there, but okay, so they've used beat to engage on Orion. They've hit a great wall here. Two things to note. This is a great choke point for them. Fucking give me pen. This is cover. This is cover. This is wall. Great choke point here and here for them. So they're going to look for a mere wall here. So we need to create a plan to just be aggressive, honestly. They've used beat to engage, so yeah, they don't have beat, so they basically can't save themselves for shatter. And we should have played this very slowly. We have a more poke comp from them, so because the cart's around here, we should have just sat behind cart, poked them a bit. If they use beat, we can back up freely. They might hit the wall in the corner, but it's going to be hard, especially when the mayor's playing here. It's going to be hard to angle it properly. So yeah, we play it slow, remember, we can't play fast pace, we don't have anything to speed on, and they do. I need to remove that. And yeah, we'll probably lose our round here. And that's fight loss from there. If they use any molds, it's a throw. And yeah, they play it smart, the round backs off, you can't push with a high charge Zarya and then shield's low. So yeah, we go on to the next fight. Farragon on the flank here is very bad, especially as we'll see soon. The Diva comes up here and Farrah's playing in close space. Farrah dies. Stop flanking us, Farrah. Please, for the fucking love of God. I'm never letting you play Farrah on this map. There's way too many flanks. Yeah, they have McCree, but you have more cover. You don't have cover when you go on flanks. And one thing to note, especially against that brawl, they brawl as 6 people. We brawl as 4 people because of our Farrah Mercy. I'm also down a healer and a DPS during that, which is just extremely bad. Once again, we go to push. Now, 2 things here. We're poke comp. We play it slow. If our Farrah is gonna go on a flank, we play it slow. We need Farrah to be in position. We can't push onto them without Farrah being in position because it's a full v6. We can't play like that. We died for it. We were too aggressive. Our round pushed in way too early, and we didn't think about it. They should have walled our round, honestly. And we've used both our bubbles. Our Farrah's in the back. Farrah's gonna do nothing here. Farrah wasn't properly set up, and it really should be a fight loss. That's a wasted lamp. They're all full HP. They lamped for high noon. We've already lost our Rhine. Like, unless our Farrah can do something very dramatic here, we shouldn't have high nooned. We've lost a main tank. It's a very hard fight to fight against that without a main tank. Close the window. And yeah, so wait, sorry. I thought it was our Kree high noon. Sorry, that's a mistake. I was so confused because the McCree was playing here. I honestly thought it was our McCree. That was my bad. Yeah, that's a wasted high noon from them, honestly. It's a fight one either way. And that's just a good stun. That McCree high noon is just it's just waste unless you can get the Zarya. The Zarya's only threat, really. They shouldn't have high nooned. They have cover here. Like, if they wanted the high noon, they just speed high noon. The only person they really want to get with the high noon is Zarya. And these people should be falling back anyway. Zarya, like, has a bubble to give someone. Use that and fall back. It's, like, so lost. The wasted wall now. We're still down our Farrah, so we should wait. And it probably means we're going to have wall cooldown by the time we get to them. Alright. This is just scuffed. We have no patience, man. Alright. So yeah, we grouped up as 6. They've used wall. This Kree is throwing. What the fuck is this position in? Like, he goes through here. He's not going to be in the fight till he gets here. Farah gets free reign. And then when he gets out choke, he's just going to get spammed down by Farah. He's just this is throwing position. Now they push up to choke. And we decide to go from cover out in the open. They're pushing here. They have this right angle cover. At least play around this cover here. Like, what is this movement, man? Stepping out in the open, you're just dead. And yeah, there's no momentum there. It's a wasted lamp from them again. They literally just wasted their window on their blizzard, which is 2 massive ults for us. So yeah, we need to get Farah set up or change the Farah and then play on this angle here so we actually have cover when going in. The McCree playing here is very bad, because if our Farah just goes here, she's going to get more protection for her Ryan at least. And they're playing very split here, especially if Farah stops going on the fucking flanks. Like, if Farah goes out here, the crew's in trouble. Crew can probably pick the Farah before they pick you. If we go main, like, Ryan shields Farah, the May and the Bap are playing on point. They have like little cover. They have no tanks to shield them. Like, the playing's so grouped up right now. Look how far the Ryan is. Like, if we played the Farah in this choke, yeah, we would have killed the Ryan. He's just playing way too far forward. The Diva's on an off angle doing fuck all. We push the Ryan, we kill him. We've wasted our bubble there. We used it at the wrong time. We used our bubble when Ryan backed up. That's a bad Farrell. It's too far away. Like, they used a lamp first. They used their lamp when they were all full HP in a grav. They used it way too early. We should have seen the lamp. And we shouldn't have used all. They've now chucked out Diva Bomb, they've used Beat. Like, they've used 3 ults, and we're using 2, and we're in a bad position. We're more split than they are now. These are just scuffed fights. We're just not properly thinking. They have another window now, so we need to watch out for that. You're also going in a choke point again against a Diva and a Kree and a May. It's so easy to hit you. Like, look, this is the radius. Well, that's not the fucking radius, is it? That's not even a fucking square. This is the radius you have to go through against a Diva. Diva hits in like this radius. She hits like the majority of that area. Plus a May shooting there. Plus a Kree shooting there. Or even Lucio or Bap. Like, all of them can shoot that area because we're playing Polk and we have to slow move. When you could go in this area here. Like, and you'll have Ryan shield. You'll be able to pressure them and Ryan can shield you from it. Then Diva becomes useless and you counter the Diva. Now you're trapped in a small area with a Diva. We've lost our DPS. Mercy can't res you. Warrior down 1. That window. What the fuck is that? That window's bad. We both used a lot of ults there. I think they really lost that fight because of the window. The crew was out of position. There wasn't really near any cover when it went for the high noon. And yeah, I think that was just a positioning diff or ult diff, anything like that. We now have Zaryagrav. They are close to Blizzard. They're close to Shatter. So yeah, here they shouldn't be able to contest. The Ryan's alone, the team's so split. Let's see. Positioning mistakes. Pog. This is alright. We have cover to the right here, which is great. I'm going to slow this down just a bit. So, things to know. Babson up top here. He is going to have a hard time if Ram pushes up, if he wants to go behind cover, so he's going to have to position himself in the open. The DPS are in the back, so Ryan's going to be very far forward ahead of them. We have control of the choke point currently because we're playing on cart. We really need to charge our grav, because when we play on cart, they have such a small area to play and it's really easy to hit a grav against them. And we should charge our grav faster than they charge mailed. Things to note, they can hit a wall here or here, and it's going to be hard to get over like this area here, that little thing. So it's a good wall spot. We're playing in the open here, we need to be on this cover here or this cover here, we can't play this area. We're in the open and they could honestly just wall here and fucking cook us from everyone. And yeah. So yeah, we didn't notice a diva here. The Rhines push through us. They like, we play this slow. We need to be playing on the defensive. Like, we have no ults, so why go aggressive? We shouldn't go aggressive. If we ult track correctly, we'll know they'll be close to melt. So we need to play defensive and charge our grav. We can't go on the offensive here. If we played, like, if you were back here on the Ryan, he would have been quite low HP. Lucio's now feeding. Rand's also very far up. We basically have both our main tanks in a very bad position. You're in a better position because Lucio... What? Ellen. What the fuck is this? Like, if this Ryan notices you, or Zari notices you, antied, quarter HP, dead. Ran's now going for this Ryan, but like, you need to shield the rest of the team. Maybe go for a swing on the Lucio, you can kill the Lucio. Lucio's dead here. This May has to use cryo. If you have to shield the team though. You can't go aggressive here. You're just gonna get bursted down because you're turning your back to the team. You either shield the enemy team and just wait for your Zari to farm, because Zari's full charge, shield burn anyone. And if this Ryan like swings on you, Ryan should die. I don't know how that Lucio didn't die. They use lamp, which is good for them. We're at a disadvantage here. How is Ellen alive here? Like, what? She should have died. Realistically, should have died. If we killed the Lucio there, and then went on to the Ryan next, we would have won. Like, why didn't Lucio die? Why was no one focusing that Lucio? Like, Jesus Christ, she's in our face, anti-ed at a quarter HP. This Diva's now thrown. Ryan's low shield, so we kill Ryan now. Massive fucking anti from Suiki. Decent grav. And we can turn this fight around. Zari has both bubbles. We won that fight because Diva pushed way too far forward. The mistake there was we only lost our Ryan. We backed up to cover, and like I said before, we have cover. Diva pushed up here, has no cover, and then Ryan's shield was low and had to make up for the mistakes of their Diva, and basically fed in the process. And then we hit a grav on the back line, and that's how we won that. Lamp should be first focus, and then they both should die. Now, going through this area, we have to play this more defensive. We are playing a poke comp, they're playing a fast moving comp. So we need to make definitive decisions to either play on this corner here. We can't play on this corner, so we either play on this corner here. They do have sightlines in there, because there's that. We also have sightlines in that. And we play off our up here, because their crew has to step out to this position when the Ryan's here, and he'll be in the open. If Ellen or someone from Serenity ends up watching this, something to take note of for your off tank. Off tanks, play your Diva here. It's a great pressure position against their Pharah. You also have the cover from the box here, and you can stand on this ledge without slipping off. 2 reasons: you stop Pharah from taking this high ground, you outpressure the Pharah, and you allow you McCree to get in a better position and pick off the Pharah, because the Pharah is going to be focused on you. And by Pharah playing close range in this position, you have shotgun, and shotgun with cover equals dead Pharah. By playing in this position as well, when they push a cart around like this area, or this area, you're in a really good position against their comp. Especially if our Ryan plays on this corner here, then McCree has to really step up position back here, because Ryan's going to be face to face, and then McCree's going to be like not near cover. The only cover he has is really there, or if he backs off that way there. So playing a D.Va up here on the defensive side is really good. I learned that one from something coaching. But yeah, we've taken this high ground now. D.Va's not much of a threat because she's in a choke point, and it's really easy for our Pharah to hit her. And they're very spread out. Your D.Va, the D.Va is bad. Position is off all over the place and is way too aggressive at times where she shouldn't be aggressive. And now their team's very split off. Like, they've now backed off into spawn. It's taken them for the Ryan to play in cover and the DPS to play up here out of cover, and the D.Va to die down here for them to back off. So this is good for us. Like, we've taken so much space. We've basically pushed it from all the way up here to this corner, halfway through the last part, without being contested. Now, this point in time, the carts here, don't play cart with poke. We, like, all this area here, we have no cover. We have cover here, but they have ults, and if they speed onto us, we're dead. We play cover here. 2 things, like I always say, last point show, if they're coming on there on the offense, they should never come out this right door here or left door from their side. Always come out this door. And from the offensive side, they should always call, go out right door, go out right door, go out right door. Or we should be, and from the, they should call what door they're coming out of, in simple terms. And we should call what door we're camping. So Ryan should be like, here, and being like, okay, I'm holding left door, someone hold right, and take note of that. And that creates space. We have Creel still, we have Pharah. We should set up a Pharah on this high ground. It's good cover for her, and she can pressure here. Our McCree can set up back here in this position, because Cart's going to move down to around here, I think. And no one's coming out this right door. So we should be taking note and taking the space that they're giving us for free, and that we can pressure for free. They have the bomb, the shatter, the window, they nearly have 5 ults. When they come out spawn, because we're playing a poke camp and we've played far forward, they should really look for a bomb. If they see our tanks playing forward, they're also probably going to look for a window. We should look for an early high noon or early barrage on this door, and look to get the ult advantage, because we can't win against the ults they have if we just wait for them to use ults. This is the last fight. We shouldn't wait. Be aggressive. Now Pharah's opted to go for the right door. It logically smart, but well, not really. What you got to think about is there's all this space where there's no cover. Our McCree's high nooning. They have cover when they come out this door, and if they come out this door, they don't have cover unless they come out these choke points here. So our McCree can just pressure them out there, and there's so much small area here. The Pharah pressure's out here. Pharah always go left door. McCree can take care of the right door here. Think about the capabilities of the ult you have and the hero you have. Like, there's so much cover on this side for our Pharah, especially playing here, where she can pressure them by playing here, here, and here. And then think about the capabilities when they have a window and Creel, and you're playing here, and the only cover you have is here, and then you can't help your team at all. So yeah, think about capabilities, because your Cree stood here, all he has to do is literally turn to the right and he can see them, and then they're pressured out. You don't need to do that job, you need to do this job. So yeah, they've used window far back. No one's getting value from that window except the map. They've used lamp. They're all full HP. We've burned the lamp, and they've now used B as well. They've threw out so many ults first, and we have threw out nothing except like high noon. Good blocker for Shatter. Not very good feral. They have BAP healing from the window. They have beat, and honestly, we should have stabilized a bit more. And if we were going to go on hard, we should have just looked to nano Ryan and use the Shatter, because Diva's just ate that. And if we went hard with the nano, Ryan's dead. The Ryan's backing up for some reason. Like, that fight's lost. We used the wrong ults, we weren't aggressive enough, we didn't use the cover to our advantage, we played way too split. And yeah, that's lost. It was just a terrible plan. They still have Creel. We're near Grav, we're near Shatter. This is going to end actually soon, so you have to go hard. They wasted lamp again, but you know. That's the map over, I guess. But yeah, hopefully you saw your fucking some dumb mistakes there. Alright. Now, how long's this went on for? An hour. I can let me think. So we've done okay, I'm just gonna leave this here and then I'll do a VOD review tomorrow for the maps we do tonight. Hope this helped, sorry, and thanks for watching.